I play the character Helena, and she's best friends with one of the other leading ladies, Hermia. We've grown up our entire lives together, and I have been madly in love with Demetrius for ages now. Unfortunately, he's more fond of my friend than he is me. We were engaged until he met her, and now I'm trying to win his heart back. She's got a lot of quirks. She's very much the bookworm, the nerd, and when she doesn't get her way, she tends to pout a lot. So I'm a bit of a drama queen. I've always been a bookworm growing up, and so it makes it really easy to pull from that. Probably the most challenging thing, because line-wise my character does tend to have that very pouty attitude, not letting myself be negative about my own character, still liking my character and making her fun instead of, oh, she just pouts all the time. So that's definitely the most challenging part. For me, the language. I absolutely love the elevated language. I'm a poet myself, so the poetry and the imagery just kind of takes you to a whole new level that only Shakespeare can do. Don't assume just because you think you don't like Shakespeare that, oh, I don't want to go to that play, Shakespeare, it's going to be long and boring. This is a comedy, and our job is to make you guys understand it. So make sure you come. I think you'll be very pleasantly surprised. We've set it in a more modern period, the 60s. Everybody can relate to the bookworm who can't get what she wants, the jock who's chasing everybody around. You've got the hippies who are kind of off doing their own thing. But yeah, no, there's at least one character that almost everybody can identify with.
I am Mason Quinn, and I am playing Lysander. Lysander is a lover in the play. He is in love with Hermia and is trying to he wants her he wants her father's permission to marry her, but he won't give it. He wants Hermia to marry Demetrius. So together, Hermia and I run out into the woods and try to run away to somewhere where we can get married safely. How am I approaching the role? I guess with any play, you have to get to know your character, you have to, obviously hopefully know what the play is about. And you just have to get to know your character through the language, especially with Shakespeare. You have to be able to understand the language and understand the beats and the rhythm and everything. I mean, really, especially just with Shakespeare, it revolves all around the language and just how you use it. You got to be able to understand the words and use them to your advantage. What is challenging about this role? I would definitely say getting used to the way it's written. I mean, it's not anything like any contemporary show you've ever done or ever seen or even read before in your life. I mean, it's just, every single line has a certain rhythm to it, and you just have to be able to keep up with that. And then there's just the way that the words are put together. Words are all out of order to what we're used to, so you have to be able to look at that and understand what it actually means, and then you have to be able to make sure the audience understands what you're saying more than just you understanding what you're saying. What is it that makes Shakespeare so special even today? I would say he knows how, or he knew how to write better than anybody else of his time, better than anybody else now. Probably nobody can put the words on a page like he can. Nobody's even comparable. I mean, and that's like we were talking about. That's what makes it so challenging for us, but it's also what makes it so much fun. I would say we try to have as much fun as we possibly can. I guess it's like just being in the show has been an incredible learning experience, and this semester especially, just because we're in an advanced acting class this semester, and with that we've done 2 Shakespeare projects already just in that class. And doing Shakespeare alone is so much more of a learning experience than doing any other scene could possibly be. I hope it's going to be a great show. I think we're coming along greatly now. There's definitely still some work to be done, but once we get there, it's going to be amazing.
My name is Nightingale, and I play Hermia in A Midsummer Night's Dream. Hermia is a hopeless, in-love girl, but she's Aegeus's daughter, and she's in love with Lysander. And her father, however, wants her to marry Demetrius, but she's stubborn, and so she runs off with Lysander. I think that with Shakespeare, to start off with it, I had to sit down and make sure I knew what every single line was saying completely. If you don't know one word, then it just throws everything off and you can't play it. So that was just a big part of it. And then we have an advanced acting class that helped me out big time with just understanding how to play Shakespeare. Well, for me, it actually took a long time. I always want to rush things. when it comes to acting, and you can't do that, especially with starting out. So it's a matter of just sitting down and making sure you understand every single word, and it takes a good amount of time. It takes probably twice as much as a contemporary play would take. I think with a contemporary play, it's the amount of time put into that it's a lot of work, but usually you can take an hour a day by yourself and then come to rehearsal and do the 3 hours a night and be fine with getting into your role. And then compared to Shakespeare, you have to take 2 to 3 hours a day plus rehearsal time. Well, for advanced acting, our first project with Shakespeare is we did a Shakespeare monologue, and then we used that for auditions. And the monologues were really helpful with how you can approach soliloquies or just being able to play to the other person and finding the beats in the language and the switch of tactics. And then we also did a couple scenes. We did a serious scene, and then we did a comedic scene. And with the comedic scene, that was the most helpful because A Midsummer Night's Dream is a comedy. And so it was nice because you got to see how fast you can go with it and keep the rhythm and just learning the beats and stuff in class. The most challenging thing about A Midsummer Night's Dream is all of the words and making sure that you know every single one of them. If you miss one word, it throws off everything, and then you get in your head automatically. So I think definitely just learning it word for word is a big challenge. And that comes with anything you memorize, the word for word, but in Shakespeare especially, it's important. The thing that makes Shakespeare so special is that the guy knew his stuff. He knew exactly how to give you what you needed. And it's just a matter of, once you get going with it, it's just to trust yourself. And you can do that with other plays, but he really sets it up for you. And it's just a nice experience once you get into it. Something that I would tell a potential theater student is that even though Chadron State College is small, it offers a lot of things that you won't get from a bigger school. I'm sure that larger schools offer the opportunities to get involved in plays and the wide range of things like Shakespeare, but you have more of a chance of being a part of things at Chadron State College, and you get more hands-on experience, whether that's with lights or sound or acting on stage or building the set or helping with costumes. It's just, you have a higher chance of being able to learn everything.
Thank you so much for visiting our CSC behind the scenes and spending a little time with our actors from A Midsummer Night's Dream. We'd like to encourage anybody that's curious about Chadron State College or the upcoming productions to give us a call at area code 308-432-6317, or you can just email me directly at rmays, R-M-A-Y-S, @csc.edu. I'm also on Facebook.